I'm Colin Cook. I'm a partner and personal injury solicitor at Hatch Brenner. I deal with personal injury cases and clinical negligence cases. The sort of clients that I deal with are people that have been involved in an accident, maybe an assault, or have received medical care that falls below an acceptable standard. As a personal injury lawyer, I'm accredited via APIL, the Brain Injury Group, and the Law Society. Hatch Brenner as an organisation are accredited with the Spinal Injuries Association and with Headway. Those two organisations and those accreditations show that as a firm we've got the necessary level of experience and expertise to deal with the most serious types of cases which involve brain injuries and spinal injuries. At the outset of a case, when someone comes to see us, whilst their primary focus might be to determine whether or not they have a case where they can receive compensation, we try to focus in the initial stages on rehabilitation. So that involves getting private treatment for people that they might not otherwise have access to. The focus on that is essentially to get people back into the workplace if they're off work, so that they continue to earn their living, they can continue to pay their mortgage and their bills. So the sort of support that our clients tend to require involve access to private medical treatment, but they're also finding that it's a very stressful point in their lives when these unexpected events happen. So financial support by seeking interim payments from defendants, emotional support, so dealing with clients in their circumstances and with empathy, and providing a personal one-to-one service so that, there's continuity in the level of service that's provided. I enjoy dealing with the serious cases, and I can see that at the end of that process, even though it might take some time to get there, that we make a difference to people's lives. We aim to try and get that life back on track, and if we can't get it back to where it was originally, then at least to provide a level of financial support and assistance that will carry that family forward. Regardless as to whether or not anyone has got an insurance product at home, everyone has a right to choose their own lawyer. So even if you do have insurance, there are other funding options available if you didn't want to use that insurance policy or use the lawyers that insurance company wanted you to use, who are often based outside of the local area and would require you to deal with a lawyer by telephone rather than face-to-face. At the very first meeting, we will explain in clear terms what options clients have in terms of how they would fund their case. That might be with an insurance product that they have already, or it might be with an alternative way of funding the case, which more often than not isn't going to cost the client anything. As a Norwich-based practice, we quite frequently end up dealing with clients who have been represented by national law firms who've never met their client and haven't had the opportunity to speak to their clients face to face, haven't taken instructions properly, and we end up taking those cases on and getting those cases back on track to the client's satisfaction and taking them to a successful conclusion. As a local firm, we offer personal face-to-face service. It enables us to get under the skin of a case, get the detail from the client that we need. Detail is all important, particularly in complex cases, particularly in cases where there are subtle symptoms that are less well understood by insurers and defendants. We are able to get that level of detail that you just simply can't get over the telephone. If someone's had an accident or received substandard medical care, I just advise them to get in touch. We can set up a free initial interview, either at home or in our office, and just talk about the case over a cup of tea or coffee, and at the end of that we can set out what options might be available.